Good morning, afternoon, and evening, wherever you are, and welcome to another Nerd Tube review. Today, I'm going to be talking about Young Justice Phantoms, Season 4, Episode 7, The Lady or the Tigress. Following the theme of the past couple weeks, is we were following Tigress and her trying to figure out who is lying, whether it's on well, who is the traitor to the shadows, which is Onyx or Lady. I call her Lady Savage, but yeah. So Tigress is still trying to navigate all of that. But in this episode, we have a lot of new information that we really hadn't gotten in the past in the Young Justice crew. So the thing is though that this episode starts off by following up with episode 4 where Connor died. They show Ms. Martian still on Mars, hunting her brother, and she's all raging and throwing people everywhere, and she's just saying, "Why would you do that to Connor? Blah 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 blah. Why would you use kryptonite in the bomb?" And her brother has no idea. Of course, it's because they got the bomb from Darkseid, Desaad, and they know what kryptonite is. So, but they don't. I don't think they know they got that from them. I don't think. So Miss Martian is obviously going through a lot, and she is raging. Uh, I think that Martian Manhunter is just there to kind of help make sure she doesn't go too far, but letting her get her, the information she needs. Um, then we go back to Earth and we see more of the beginnings of the rescue operation for Orphan, who was kidnapped last episode by Lady Shiva and is revealed to be Lady Shiva's daughter. So, they come in, they don't trust each other. I mean, Onyx and Savage just don't trust each other. The other one thinks the other one is a bull. Sorry for the yawning. It's late. I know you're probably watching this. I think I'm going to put it out like midday tomorrow, just because we've had a lot of stuff coming out. Um, but so we get a little bit of backstory there on Orphan. Um, so they all scuba in, and as they're scubaing in, Barbara Gordon actually is in the ear of Tigress, kind of giving her updates and stuff like that. Basically saying, look, if you need us, the Bat Family's there. And Tigress is just kind of like, yeah, no, just give me a chance here. Let me see what I can do. We get some backstory on Orphan. Orphan obviously was brought up by Lady Shiva. I think one of her first targets actually was going to be the Joker. The Joker, played by Brent Spiner again, by the way. We haven't seen him since, I'm pretty sure, season one. He was they're doing this flashback, and they want to kill the Joker. Sent Vandal Savage a message about being pissed off about the Injustice League being pawns of the light and yada yada. So the Joker doesn't like to be used. So he was keeping the UN hostage. I didn't understand this very much, but I didn't watch it twice, unfortunately. But I was kind of like, so the Joker's holding UN hostage, and the Shadows are trying to save. I mean, I guess they're trying to save Lex Luthor, but sorry, I'm really sorry. So anyway, so Orphan's supposed to be there to kill Joker. Um, and so we kind of leave it on, the Bat Family's there stopping the Joker, because the Joker has bombs and he's got a clicker and everything like that. And so the the Bat Family, Nightwing, Batwoman, Tim Drake, Robin, Batgirl, obviously, we're all there disarming the bombs. Um, and Joker goes to click the button, and nothing happens. So then he tries to run off, and Orphan goes to make her move. Then we cut away, and we go to more about Savage, and going into, we get to see a little bit more about, like, Barbara apparently feels like Orphan's more of a little sister to her and stuff like that. So she's Barbara's very concerned about Tigress getting her out of there. So, um, yeah, so um, Tigress is, they're Savage and Tigress and Onyx are going in. They both save each other. One saves one from a shark. The other one saves one from falling from a high point. They keep saving each other. They keep so they're trying to earn Tigress's trust by saving each other and showing that they're trying to save the greater good. Um, and yeah, we eventually find out what's going on. Savage is the plant. She was using a glamour charm to, form the arm and all that. So she pulls the glamour charm off, and she credits Tigress for this because obviously Tigress used a glamour charm in season 2, uh, while uh, while Calderon and was undercover with Black Manta, and yeah, so we find out finally that Savage is the plant. Onyx is telling the truth, and um, we do a little bit more of the flashback, and we find out a little bit of a different story here because I thought that they might try to put into this the paralyzing of Barbara Gordon, but it's really weird because it's different than the comics. Okay, I can get on board with that. Apparently, Orphan was going to was right there to kill the Joker, sword in hand, and then Batgirl pushes Joker out of the way, and Batgirl gets slashed in the back. Okay, and then Batgirl says, while she's lying on the floor bleeding out, "I didn't do it to save the Joker. I did it to save you." Okay, I kind of wish they would have either A, left the reason she got paralyzed uh, not known, or B, did it the right way. I really feel like it's good for the character of Orphan, but not for Barbara. Like, I don't feel like, I mean, her pushing the Joker out of the way, just like, I could see if, like, she was talking to Orphan before and everything, say, you don't have to do this, you're so young, you have your life to live, you don't have to worry about, the whole good guy spiel. I could see if, like, that's what the angle they were going, and then when she finally catches up with Joker, then she jumps in the way. But I mean, she didn't even know that this assassin was a young girl. She just pushed Joker out of the way and took the sword, and just assumed that she was just some innocent young girl and that she was going to ruin her life because she was going for her first kill. No, no idea. Barbara had no idea. So I really don't like this only because of that fact. As I said, if Orphan and Batgirl got stuck together or whatever and learned a little bit more about one another, I know that Orphan can't talk, but if they would have kind of leaned a little more into the characterization, and Barbara was kind of trying to convince Orphan not to do this, and when she goes to the dark, like when she gets her first kill and she goes to the dark, there's, you're tainted forever, yada yada, that kind of crap. Um, but yeah, I really feel like that this was just a little a poor execution in my opinion. I really sad to say that because I love this show. We go back to a little bit more action on Mars, and again, Martian Manhunter is talking to Hawkgirl on Earth, and basically, or maybe not on Earth, but talking to her about all the kryptonites accounted for wherever, whatever, and then Martian Manhunter's like, well, so we may not, there may be more that we just don't know about. um, so yeah, I mean that was another thing. I'm kind of like, really, like what? So there were a couple parts in this episode where I was kind of like, huh, really? But then there were some really good parts, I thought. Um, also, at the end of the episode, they or the like they had like the Justice League information thing or whatever. I don't know what whatever that thing was. And then Savage's daughter had like the callback to season 1, the nanite readers or the microbots or whatever that came out of her skin, and they were supposed to, you know, go and read the data or copy the data or something and getting league information. And there were a couple parts of this episode I was kind of lost on. Not because I just didn't get it just because why are we going through all this again? Like they normally do a lot better of a job explaining why they're doing things in certain episodes. Um, so, and actually, the more I talk through it, the more I'm kind of like, this is actually more of a subpar episode. I was kind of liking this episode, but the more I talk through it, the more I'm thinking it might be a little bit more of a subpar episode. So anyway, in the end, they're surrounded by uh, Daughter Savage, and then Shade brings in all the other ones. Black Spider, the robot dude. I don't remember what his name is. And there's some other assassins and stuff like that that come in. And basically now it's Onyx and Tigress versus like every. Oh, and Cheshire shows up. Cheshire shows up and um, saves Tigress and Onyx, and they get away. But as I said, then the rest of the shadows catch up with them, and the three of them are kind of, outnumbered between Shadows and Lady Shiva and all the other peeps. We end off the episode with an end credit scene where it kind of shows, they're heading. Well, oh, and Miss Martian's sister wants to come back to Earth with her. So apparently she's coming back to Earth. She's still in her Hello Megan's friend form, and so they're all. So she wants to go, and so Baby, the new bioship, is taking them home. And then in the end credits scene, it's more reading from Tigress, from literature, and I guess just kind of chilling, on the bridge while traveling. Very quiet. My question is, how did Beast Boy get home? Because he was in one of the previous episodes here. Did they like drop Beast Boy off and then go back, or that doesn't track with me because Beast Boy was at the high rise, whatever you want to call it, for the outsiders in one of the previous episodes. I think it was episode 5 or maybe early 6, but he was still there. But yet, had Miss Martian come back home yet? And maybe they made reference to it and I just didn't hear it. I watched the episode, I took my notes. So I don't know. So that's this episode. I do have to say, the more I talk through this episode, the more I realize that it is kind of like a mediocre-ish episode. There was a lot that happened in this episode, but there were just some plot points and plot holes, honestly, that I'm kind of just like, eh. So, middle of the road, I guess, episode. Hopefully, I mean, they kind of seem to be on this 4-episode arc, because I think next week's episode is the end of like the Tigress episode arcs. So maybe they'll kind of wrap that up, and then we'll move into another story. Maybe we'll find out what happened to Connor, because I'm still not convinced he's dead. Or maybe we'll move into another, maybe Calder. We'll be following Calderon, or Nightwing, or I don't know, any of the OG ones. Maybe Zatanna or Rocket. I mean, we haven't really followed them all that much. And they're in the intro, so they got to be doing something with them. Anyway, with that all being said, yeah, kind of a mid par episode. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Am I totally wrong? Am I just too tired to really, comprehend everything? And this show is awesome, which it is awesome. Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please consider giving us a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you've kind of maybe sort of heard of at this point. I'll catch you guys next week for Young Justice episode 8. Bye-bye for now.